Hi guys, welcome back to the Malena Edit. We are jumping into our college football bowl recap for some of the games that really stood out to me, and of course a championship preview. Sorry about the lighting if it goes kind of wonky in this video. There are so many windows in this room and I'm trying to work with the natural lighting because I don't have my usual lights and things like that here, but I don't know how well it's working for me, so bear with me. Let's start this off chatting about the Peach Bowl. Number 9 ranked Cincinnati took on 8 ranked Georgia. It was a really fun game. Cincinnati held their own through 3/4 of it. I think what most impressed me was the performance from their offense, putting up 21 points fairly early and kind of getting right to it. Their defense showed up in the ways that we knew they were capable of, holding this Georgia team to 10 for much of the game. Georgia was just able to capitalize in that fourth quarter turnover by Cincinnati, and I feel like the tide of that game, the fourth quarter, they were able to kind of hang on a little bit longer than this Bearcats team. Desmond Ridder really showed up in a big moment. Not that anybody is really surprised by that, but it was a really fun game on a big stage for him to say, I'm absolutely capable of taking hold of this moment. Really impressed, loved that touchdown throw to Wiley, his tight end there. Nice, they were able to get the run game going. It just looked good on all fronts for this team. They just, that last quarter, they weren't able to hang on. It really sucked to see, but it was a really good game, and that tight end from Georgia, Darnell Washington, is going to be all of the buzz for the next 2 years. I feel like I'm constantly looking ahead to draft classes, and he is one that I can't wait to see. In the Orange Bowl, we had number 5 Texas A&M taking on 13 ranked North Carolina. Isaiah Spiller for Texas A&M had himself a nice day there at running back. I'm curious, I have no idea who's behind Kellen Mond at quarterback for the Aggies, so I don't know what their future looks like, but they were able to rally and win this game. It looked pretty evenly matched through much of it. The score was pretty close through much of it. Texas A&M was just able to close it out. I am so excited, though, for the future of this Tar Heels team. I'm curious where Sam Howell falls on boards next year in the draft. He's got a nice young receiving target there in Josh Downs. It looked like they still had some running back depth, even with Javonte Williams and Michael Carter opting out of this game. Really fun watch all around. Loved the way this North Carolina defense played on so many of those drives. I'm so excited about this UNC team. Cannot say enough. Can't wait to see what they bring to the table in the 2021-22 season. I think they're going to be good. Then, of course, for playoff semifinals, we had the Rose Bowl in Dallas with number 1 Alabama taking on 4 Notre Dame. I am so curious when we'll actually get, with this kind of playoff picture, a 4 seed that's actually able to give us a good game versus a 1 seed. I feel like this game is always just like on in the background at this point. But pretty much the game we expected, probably a little bit milder of a score than we expected. I kind of expected Bama to just stack the points on, but they didn't really need to. They were in control of the game the whole time. Everything that you expect, yada, yada, yada. The story goes on, right? Yeah, but I do think that Notre Dame showed up as best they could against a completely dominant Alabama team. And curious at the tight end position, they have a nice big-bodied wide receiver type there for the Tide in Billingsley. So I'm curious what the future of the tight end position now looks like. It just feel like Darren Waller in the league, Kyle Pitts at Florida. Is that just going to be these, bigger bodied receivers putting on a little bit of weight, stacking on a little bit of mass there and playing tight end? Or are we just going to continue to see the athleticism of that position increase? And of course, in the Sugar Bowl, we had number 2 ranked Clemson taking on number 3 Ohio State. What a performance from Ohio State. I have no idea who this team was. Have no idea. I feel like in 2019, they had a similar game to this where I was like, oh, they're like good. Where were they the rest of the season? Yeah. Not sure what that's about, but it was an exciting game. Surprise for sure. I did not expect that. I expected a full-blown Clemson showing, and clearly it wasn't. Justin Fields getting extra bonus points and upping that draft stock after taking a big hit to the ribs and still getting up and playing his heart out through the game. The 58-yard touchdown like sealed it. It was like the icing on the cake of I'm still in this game and I'm playing really well. So take that, everybody that was down on me. Love to see it. Hopefully he can show up like that again in the national championship. Chris Olave being back definitely helped. Trey Sermon had himself a day. And of course, they used their tight ends a lot more too in this game. I thought that was fun. And their defense showed up alongside the offense, which I think was really important. Justin Hilliard had himself a nice day. Yeah, all around great performance. Nothing but wonderful things to say about that showing, and it makes for a more exciting national championship. And finally, the national championship preview. We've got Alabama taking on Ohio State. I'm really looking forward to this game, so long as it happens and potentially on time, although I wouldn't hate a January 18th national championship game just because we would know Justin Fields would get an extra week of rest. He would feel good going into the game, and Alabama would probably have Jalen Waddle back at wide receiver. Wouldn't hate that. Kind of would love that. A little bit more of a competitive game. I think that would be fun. Waddle might be back for the January 11th game, but by the 18th, he'll be rested and looking good, right? Like that's fine. Speaking of those Bama wide receivers, I did say in my Sugar Bowl preview that I was looking for Ohio State DBs versus those Clemson receivers. I watched that matchup. Big yikes. I have no idea how these guys are going to take on Alabama's wide receivers. I have no idea. So I can't think of a solution to anything really on that offense. You've got 3 top 5 Heisman finalists, one of those being a winner. Is there an answer to that offense? I don't really think so. I am looking forward to Ohio State's offense and what they're able to put up on this Alabama defense, similar to Ole Miss and Florida. Teams with lots of NFL talent on offense have put on a good show versus Bama this year, so we might see some of that. They're going to have to stack up the scoreboard in order to win this game. That's the only solution I can think of because I don't really see, I could be wrong, but I don't see this Buckeyes defense being able to do anything against this Bama offense. Interesting to see how it all pans out.